This is like I got like my pinky. And PF chains down. I gave you prophecy, my first one, then you lame down. Luckily, so but it wasn't for me. Still the flow raw. Peep the way I bubble in these streets. Who can with me?
Nikki, baby.
Go.
Okay, you got it. Look. Go. Look at you go. Okay, you bubbling. Look.
Yeah. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booker bugging me. Just need a bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even me that I don't want none of it. He's mad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Y'all is a lazy, my posse deep and I raiding. We act a fool for the paper, had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over baby. Put the bread on me, bet on my bacon. Big and flat in the bacon, I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas, head back to my old ways. Cop a roof for all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like a million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke way longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and got him. Took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about it.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with the man who has had to stick with me all season long, Charles Davis. And Charles, the anticipation, the hype, the media coverage, all in the rearview mirror now. We can finally get down to playing some football.
Yeah, don't worry about that, partner. I'll ride or die with you anytime. You know that. But here's the best thing about this. Everyone talks about trying to keep things normal as they approach for Super Bowl. There is no such thing as normal. The pageantry, the hype, all of that is more intense than anyone could ever imagine. What you're trying to do is embrace it in one way and make sure it doesn't totally knock you off your game. That's why the night before the big one, teams often switch hotels, try and give those guys that last chance to breathe a little bit before they go out and play.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They go play action here on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Campbell. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones in a 1st down. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And some space here. 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 38 yards on the scamper there.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that have set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. but when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Jameis to throw it. That's complete right around the 8. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. And on the grandest of stages, with the whole world watching the Super Bowl, they come out and get the first points.
I don't know how you feel about Brandon, but for me, watching the beginning of the Super Bowl, I've often wondered how come it's not just a fumble fest? How come the ball's not all over the place? The nerves, the interim in between of the 2 weeks waiting for the game. But this team came out and handled it just like it was a regular season walk in the park. Terrific start.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Vontaze Burfict, the one to get him down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Roethlisberger over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And this may be a big early turning point in this Super Bowl. They're going to go for it on 4th down here. They'll indeed go for it with Roethlisberger. It's brought in by Dodson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. 1st down on a pickup of 11. A couple of 1st downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry by Bell. Now Bell hit. He lost the football, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. And this will be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Bell. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. This is caught by Antonio Brown. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Roethlisberger, a screen to Bell. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Over the middle here to Brown. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that could be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down.
Here we go. Let's go.
Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. Escaping the pressure right. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield and try and hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
Second and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. This is Bell on the dump off. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? To throw again is Roethlisberger. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Jason Pierre-Paul coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. And Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me, partner.
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the three's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the three is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down. So out come the Bucs now. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape. Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They run. This is Cohen. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Here's Winston. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3. But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side, maybe a little gassed, right? A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense. Now it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a 1st down. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Hurry up, let's go!
Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. Tackle made that time by Vita Vea. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And this is going to be incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now a play fake here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Off the play fake, Winston. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, there in coverage.
I know it's hard to see inside the face mask of the defender right now, but I'm willing to guess that there's a nice little grin on his face because to make that type of a play downfield, you wonder if you're going to be able to make it. You know that if you don't make it, it's a big play that you're giving up. But when you do bat the ball away and you come back and you embrace your teammates, that's a lot of momentum you're bringing back to the huddle. Now you feel like they can't complete anything when they don't hit deep shots.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action. Winston. Got a man on the right sideline. It's Campbell. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. This is taken at the 3. He's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Snickers, 66.
Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. So we've reached halftime here in the 2020 Super Bowl, Super Bowl 54. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. The never tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
and I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
There we go.
Again, it's Bell. He slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Derek Johnson, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 44.
22, 44.
They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Got a man, it's Brown. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
On second down, it's Bell. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ballgame, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontaze Burfict. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Ronald Jones, 68 yards. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Bring out the Brinks truck, I'm young, flying ice up. 100-yard dash, I had to run my price up. Boss your life up, I had to boss mine up. $10,000 outfit, $100 up. Hey, you know these checking for me in the DMs, getting for me. I ain't even took $1 out my pocket and the still shaking for me. And I'm frosted like Tony in the club with the owner. I can walk on water, pop it like, hey, when you on top. Go hate on you, that what they supposed to do, I don't know how to lose. I think the Rari go faster without the roof. Hey, when you on top, go hate on you, that what they supposed to do, I don't know how to lose. I think the Rari go faster without the roof. 30, I might go round the 2, stacking up, I love how my money count on move. With attitude, I got a attitude, and I dropped out of school. I'm going up, check my vertical. Man, I'm breaking every rule. TMZ harassing me, I got a camera crew. I'm addicted to shopping, so everything brand new. I'm friends with the jeweler, my diamonds like Shamu. Hey, she like she applying shampoo. Pretty face, she got a look. Keep a few racks on me. I used to work in the factory. Been hating it, never bother me. I make they follow me. Teacher said that I'm a prodigy. When I'm shopping, I don't care what it's costing me.